All right, so this whole England manager situation, right? It's got everyone talking.
Yeah, it's definitely got people fired up.
I mean, imagine if like the U.S. hired some, I don't know, foreign coach for the national basketball team or something.
Oh, people would lose it.
Total uproar, right? That's kind of the vibe here.
Big time. It's a bold move, that's for sure.
And that's what we're diving into today. This article, Why Can't English Managers Keep Up?
Catchy title. Gets right to the heart of it.
It does. So we're going to unpack it all. History, arguments, the whole 9 yards.
And trust me, there's more to it than just, who's winning or losing on the pitch.
Way more. Okay, so rewind with me for a sec.
Yeah.
England, they practically invented football, didn't they?
They did. The OGs of the beautiful game.
And then 1966 World Cup win. Legendary. But now they bring in a foreign manager. What gives?
Right. So here's the thing. It's not like English managers suddenly forgot how to coach.
Right.
This is like a slow burn, a shift that's been happening for decades. Think about it. The Premier League now, it's a global phenomenon, attracting the best players and, well, the best managers too, from all over.
True. You got Wenger, completely transformed Arsenal.
Huge impact.
Then there's Mourinho, right? Made his mark at what, like 3 different clubs now?
At least. Love him or hate him, the guy gets results.
He does. And of course, you got to mention Guardiola at Manchester City. Tactical genius.
No doubt. Those guys, they're not just managers. They bring whole philosophies to the game.
Exactly. So it makes you wonder, right? Did the Premier League become this big because of these foreign managers? Or did it just kind of open the door for them?
It's like a chicken or egg thing, isn't it?
Totally. And it makes you think, what is it about the English system then?
Yeah. Why aren't their own managers reaching those same heights?
Right. Is it a lack of opportunity? Or are they just doing something differently?
That's the million-dollar question, and that's what we're here to unpack. So it's this weird thing, right? England, like the home of football, and they're looking elsewhere for leadership?
It's true. And this article doesn't hold back. They really dig into why English managers might be, I don't know, falling behind.
Yeah, they don't sugarcoat it. One of the big things they highlight is coaching education.
Oh, interesting. Like how you train to be a manager.
Exactly. They say Germany's system, it's like the gold standard.
Wow. Really? Like their version of Harvard or something for football managers?
Basically. They've got this whole, infrastructure in place. Even youth coaches in Germany, some of them have access to data analysts, sports psychologists, the whole shebang.
Seriously? That's intense.
It is. It's about teaching them to think about the game in a very well-rounded way from the get-go.
So it's not just knowing the game, it's like the science of it too.
Totally. And that's what they're saying is missing in England. Like they specifically mentioned Tuchel, Klopp, Nagelsmann, all these top German managers, right? They came up through this system.
So they were prepped for the big leagues from day one, basically.
Pretty much. And that leads to the other major point the article makes, opportunity or lack thereof.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's kind of that catch-22.
Yeah.
You need experience to get the job, but how do you get experience?
Yes, these clubs, they want Premier League experience, but
English managers can't get that experience without someone taking a chance on them.
it's a tough cycle to break. And you see it happen, right? Clubs look at foreign managers, see they've won stuff in other leagues, and figure, okay, they must be the real deal.
It's like this automatic assumption.
Right. Like, they must be better because they're coming from somewhere else. Even a guy like Eddie Howe, he did great things at Bournemouth, but it still took him forever to get a shot at a bigger club.
And he's like, the exception. Right. Not the rule.
Totally. It makes you think, about any field, really, whose experience gets valued more. It's an interesting question.
It really is. Because that experience thing, it's a barrier everywhere.
Big time. And it kind of highlights this point. It's not that English managers aren't good. It's more that the system, it might be, holding them back in a way.
Interesting. So if the problem isn't necessarily the managers themselves, then what is it about these foreign managers? What are they doing differently? It's true we focused on the what's wrong, but the article does talk about what these foreign managers bring to the table.
And it's not just that they've been successful elsewhere, right? They're bringing new ideas to the game.
Yeah, the article specifically mentioned this tactical innovation thing.
That's a big one. Like, we're not just talking about formations here. It's about completely different philosophies of how the game should be played.
Right. Like, what would be a good example of that?
Well, you've got Guardiola, for example, made tiki-taka famous back at Barcelona.
Yeah.
All about those short passes, keeping possession, constantly moving.
Oh, yeah. Tiki-taka is like they just, I don't know. hypnotize the other team or something.
Totally. And then there's Klopp, right? With his
Yeah,
gegenpressing.
Gegen what now?
Gegenpressing. It's basically winning the ball back the second you lose it. High energy in your face can really throw the other team off.
Sounds intense.
It is. And these are just two examples. The point is, these foreign managers are pushing the boundaries of the game, experimenting, coming up with new approaches. And that's something the article suggests maybe English football hasn't been doing as much of.
Sticking with what they know, maybe?
Could be. But these foreign managers, they've often got experience in different leagues, different styles of play.
So they're more adaptable.
Exactly. They've seen more ways the game can be played. They bring a broader perspective. Think about it in any field, really. The best ideas often come from people who have experienced different ways of doing things.
That's a really good point. If you've only ever seen one way of doing something, you're never going to think to change it.
Right. And that's what some of these foreign managers offer, a fresh perspective, a willingness to, shake things up a little.
Now, there's one more thing from the article I wanted to hit on. This whole idea that English managers, especially in the lower leagues, might actually be undervalued.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle. It's like, imagine trying to become, I don't know, a world-class musician, but you're working a day job just to make ends meet. Hard to really dedicate yourself, right?
Tough to be creative when you're stressed about paying rent.
Exactly. And that's the reality for a lot of lower league managers in England. The article talked about how the pay is often low and the resources are limited. It's a grind.
So they're stuck just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Not much room to actually, improve and develop as a manager.
Exactly. It's a systemic issue. And it makes you wonder how much talent is being overlooked because of it.
Right. If they were given the same support, the same opportunities, who knows what they could achieve? It's like that saying, you need to spend money to make money.
It's the same with talent. You got to invest in it to see the returns. And that kind of leads to the article's big what if.
Which should.
What if English managers went abroad to learn?
Oh, wow. To get that experience.
Exactly. The article even used Graham Potter as an example. Learned his trade in Sweden, came back to manage in the Premier League, and, well, the rest is history.
Interesting. So maybe the answer isn't to just focus on English managers, but to actually encourage them to learn from different styles, different cultures.
It's about broadening their horizons, right? Just like we were talking about earlier.
It's like, instead of saying, why aren't English managers good enough? Maybe the question should be, how can we create an environment where they can thrive?
Exactly. Give them the support, the opportunities to become the best they can be. It's not just about English managers. It's about English football as a whole.
So to wrap this whole thing up, it seems like this isn't just a simple case of English managers are bad or something.
Not at all. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Systemic differences, cultural factors, and maybe even a bit of a home field disadvantage.
It's about recognizing those challenges, but also seeing the potential. Who knows? Maybe this new manager will shake things up for the better, bring some of those fresh ideas we were talking about.
Maybe he will. It's a fascinating experiment, that's for sure. Only time will tell what the future holds for English football, but one thing's for certain, it's going to be interesting to watch it all unfold.
Absolutely. All right, folks, that's it for this deep dive. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think down in the comments. And be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest stories in sports.